All right, let's talk about the single most valuable piece of real estate on your entire website. That big image right at the top. We call it the hero image, but you know what? It's so much more than just a big picture. It's a strategic tool that can literally win or lose you a customer in the blink of an eye. So let's get right into it. 50 milliseconds. That's 5/100ths of a second. It's almost nothing, and yet that is the entire window you have to make a first impression online. I mean, before a visitor even reads your headline, their brain has already made a snap judgment about you, about your credibility, and it's based almost entirely on that one image. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So that leads to the big question, right? How do you actually win this blink test? How can you use that tiny, tiny fraction of a second to build trust and convince someone, hey, stick around, this is worth your time? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We'll go from the psychology all the way to the hard data and the practical steps you can take. Okay, so let's really zero in on that critical window. This isn't just about looking pretty, it's about establishing immediate credibility. You know, in a world where trust is everything, this first moment is where the battle for a new customer is so often won or lost. And this right here, this is the key mindset shift you have to make. Stop thinking of your hero image as just decoration. It is a strategic business asset. A great image instantly signals competence, professionalism, and trust. But a bad one, one that's pixelated or super generic or just totally off-brand, it can instantly disqualify you in a user's mind. So how does this actually translate into results you can measure? Let's move beyond just aesthetics and talk numbers, the real, quantifiable impact a single image can have on your most important metrics. This is where the art of design meets the science of business. Now, check this out. The scale of this effect is just huge. Multiple studies have shown that blog posts and articles that have a relevant image get, on average, 94% more views than ones without. I mean, that's not a small lift. We're talking about nearly doubling your audience just by having a good visual hook. And it goes even deeper than just getting people to click. In one A/B test, where the only thing they changed was the hero image, the winning version kept visitors on the site 43% longer. Just think about that for a second. A nearly 50% jump in how long people stick around, all from swapping out a single picture. That's the power of creating immediate intrigue. And this shows you exactly what that looks like. Over on the left, you've got your baseline, your typical engagement with a weak or generic hero image. And then on the right, look at that jump. That's the dramatic increase you get with a strong, strategically chosen image. The right visual just gives people a reason to believe that the stuff that follows is going to be valuable, so they stick around to find out. But here's the catch. All that potential is completely useless if the image doesn't load fast. A beautiful image that's slow is actually a liability. Google has this metric called Largest Contentful Paint, or LCP. It's basically how long it takes for the biggest thing on the screen to show up. And guess what that usually is? Yep, your hero image. So a slow-loading image doesn't just annoy your users, it actively hurts your ranking and search results. Okay, so we know the stakes are high. How do we actually do this right? In this section, we're going to look at the different ways you can lay out your hero section, because the way you arrange the image, the text, and your call to action shouldn't be random. It should be a deliberate choice driven by what you want the user to do on that page. So the two most common ways to do this are full width and split screen. A full width image is really immersive, it's emotional, it's great for building a brand feel. The only problem is sometimes text on top of it can be kind of hard to read. A split screen layout, on the other hand, is much more structured, more balanced. It naturally guides the eye from the visual over to the text, which more often than not leads to more clicks on your button. Then there's this third approach, which some people call the anti-hero. It kind of goes against the whole idea of having a big, flashy image at all. The philosophy here is all about prioritizing clarity over cuteness. For pages where the single most important goal is an action, like start free trial or buy now, a big image can actually be a distraction. So this layout gets rid of the fluff to focus you entirely on a clear message and a big, obvious button. So here's the bottom line. Each layout has a different job to do. Think of it this way. Full width says, feel our brand. Split screen says, see our value. And the anti-hero says, we know why you're here. Take this action. Your choice of layout should directly match what you want to achieve with that page. All right, we know what we want to build, but where do we actually get the image? And how do we make absolutely sure it's technically perfect? This next part is all about the practical stuff. finding your visuals and then optimizing the heck out of them for speed and SEO. When it comes to finding an image, you're pretty much always facing what we can call a sourcing trilemma. You've got three main options. Custom photography is the gold standard for authenticity, but man, it is expensive and it takes time. Stock photos are fast and cheap, but they can feel really generic and kind of dilute your brand's unique feel. And then you've got the new kid on the block, AI-generated images. They offer incredible speed and customization for a low cost, but they can sometimes lack that little spark of authenticity you get from a real photo. The right choice really just depends on your goals and your budget. Okay, once you have your image, this part is non-negotiable. Seriously, you have to get this right. First, your file size should be under 500 kilobytes, and honestly, under 250 is even better. Use a modern format like WebP. It gives you the best compression without killing the quality. Make sure you're using responsive sizes. Don't force a little phone to download a giant desktop image. And finally, use descriptive file names and detailed alt text. This isn't just for Google, it's absolutely crucial for accessibility, making sure everyone can understand your content. So let's bring this all home. We've gone on a journey from seeing this as just a simple picture to understanding it as a powerful, multifaceted, strategic asset. A great hero image isn't an accident. It's the result of a really deliberate process that combines art, science, and some disciplined execution. So if you remember nothing else from our chat today, remember these four things. A winning hero image is 1. Credible. It passes that 50-millisecond blink test. 2. It's engaging. It measurably increases how long people stay on your site. 3. It's aligned. The layout perfectly matches the goal of the page. And 4. It's flawless. It's technically optimized for both your users and for search engines. And that leaves us with one last really important question for you to think about. Go take a hard look at your own website's homepage or your most important landing page. Based on everything we've just talked about, is that first impression an asset that's actively building trust and driving business? Or is it a liability? The answer to that question could change everything.